And many thanks for joining us for our news bulletin. My name is Beatrice Bampuado, and to our headlines: June 3rd disaster. Ghana remembers victims of 2015 flood and fire tragedy. Be patient with your husbands. Nurse warns wives as hypertension deaths rise among men. On our next headline, users would benefit when mobile money data prices are reduced from Sam George. Then Wontumi released on bail after 5 days in Iyoko custody. So our first story today marks exactly 10 years since one of Ghana's deadliest disasters struck the heart of Accra, claiming 154 lives in a horrific mix of flood and fire at the Goil fuel station near Kwame Nkrumah Circle. There's more on this report.
The night of June 3, 2015, torrential rains overwhelmed the capital, forcing hundreds to seek refuge at the filling station. Tragically, a fuel leak triggered by rising floodwaters led to a catastrophic explosion, turning a night of shelter into a scene of horror. Bodies were strewn across the streets, some recovered days later from drains. The nation was left in mourning, with the government declaring 3 days of national grief. A committee was set up to investigate the disaster, later revealing a chain of preventable events that led to the tragedy. A decade on, the memories of that night remain vivid as Ghanaians reflect on the lives lost and the lessons still being learned about urban planning, disaster preparedness, and enforcement of safety regs.
Now, speaking on the Cocoa Digest Morning Show, the Director of Inspectorate at the National Disaster Management Organization, NADMO, Mr. Amuyate, emphasized that the organization is now better prepared to handle flood situations with an improved and more strategic approach.
Because if you then it means we have not learned any lessons. You know, now we have the mindset of a multi-hazard approach to emergency response. So now, when there's a flood, we do a thorough assessment of the area. We'd never imagine that at a filling station, there could be an explosion at the filling station. But now, we have it as part of our planning. Okay. It is close to a filling station. The filling station is flooded. It could explode. What do? The fire have to be there on time to deal with any possible fire and explosion that may occur. So, yes, we have learned lessons from that incident, and I believe that the next time we have a water fire, which I don't pray for, we will deal with it. Of course, if you then...
May all who died in that incident continue resting in peace. And now to our next story. Public health nurse Abigail Anaba has advised wives to be patient and supportive of their husbands, especially when they struggle with sexual performance. In an interview with Clock TV on hypertension, she warned that pressure from spouses is contributing to rising deaths among married men due to stress-related heart conditions and strokes. She urged women to show empathy and help reduce the emotional burden on their partners.
And my fellow women, I will plead with them that if their husbands are diagnosed with hypertension and they are on medications, they should accept them and help them, especially when it comes to having something to do with sexual issues. Yes, so many men complain that they do have erectile dysfunctions when they are taking the medications. So they end up not taking the medications because they fear that their wives may go elsewhere or they will not love them as they should. So I will plead with them, yes, to accept them any way or any form that they might end up with, because their health is more important.
Away from the story, Communication Minister Sam Nartey George has outlined government's plan to reduce mobile data prices, citing the previous failed attempt due to policy implementation challenges. In an exclusive media interview, he emphasized that some recorded reports indicate that Ghana's data prices are affordable compared to other African countries. However, many Ghanaians struggle with those costs when measured against their income. He assured Ghanaians that mobile data prices would be adjusted in the coming months and would follow the roadmap set by the 23-member Interagency Data Pricing Committee.
Three variables here that we're looking at. It's price, it's value, it's quality. The ministry is going to take steps on all three, one at a time. The committee we set up that gave 14 days, in 13 days came with a roadmap, and it is that roadmap that I'm implementing. As we speak currently, the ITU, the International Telecoms Union, has sent a team to Ghana to also do independent assessments. Because again, I'm not, like I keep saying, we're a technology ministry. We will not just act on sentiment, we'll act on hardcore data and evidence. And so the ITU is doing its own baseline study, but I believe that we should see in the very, very short, in a matter of weeks, less than a month, we should see some movement on value. And then in a few subsequent weeks, we'll make another move on price. And then subsequent to that, we'll make a move on quality. So, I mean, when we talk value, if today you were getting, say, 100 gig for a certain price, value would mean that you could get more than 100 gig at the same price.
That was Honorable Sam Nartey George there. On our last story, Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Bernard Ainchi Boasieku, popularly known as Chairman Wontumi, has been released from EOCO custody after meeting his bail condition 5 days after being granted. He is under investigation for fraud, money laundering, and causing financial loss to the state. Chairman Wontumi will now assist investigations from home. He was initially invited by CID for alleged illegal mining before being taken into EOCO custody. The Deputy Attorney General noted a second investigation strand involving international organized crime. And that's all for our news bulletin. My name is Beatrice Bampuado. Enjoy the rest of your day.